All right, welcome back. So we're going to take one of the most common problems you have with your wires. You'll use it and you'll take it off and then you get this really wavy bent wire. Now every time the wire bends and every time you get a chew mark on it, see the little serrated edge on the cutter here? Every single time you bite down into the aluminum and let go, see these little creases on there? This weakens the wire and makes it susceptible to snapping, right? So if I rock this back and forth enough times without really pulling, it's gonna snap off. So at the molecular structure of the wire, every time you bend it back and forth, every time you chew into it, every time you crimp it, you're weakening that wire. So just be aware of that for when you're making something, you wanna construct something that's really strong. But for the most part, we're just kind of working with lightweight clay stuff, but we do want the wire to be straight because we want to measure the limbs, the fingers, the hands, the arms, legs, things like that. So for this piece here, I'm just going to snip off an end and show you how a little trick that I learned from someone else online. I should remember the name, but so if you have a hard granite surface or concrete surface and then a hard block to roll over the top of it, I just happen to have this big piece of ironwood, ipe wood, but you could maybe try another piece, another hard block. It could be a brick, it could be another block of granite, it could be you know, of something solid, but you'll see because it will mark up and leave. But what you do is you take the piece, kind of get the major bends out of it a little bit, just enough so that it can roll back and forth. So if you try to roll this back and forth, it's not going to move too much, right? So you want to straighten these out a little bit. Okay, and here we go. So I'm going to take that block and I'm just going to roll it back and forth, and if I can hear and I can feel it rolling back and forth until it starts to straighten out a little bit. Go a little bit more. Okay. So I just gonna get it, the bends out just enough so I can at least roll it a little bit on this granite surface. There it goes. Hear that? And then as it starts rolling more, I can push a little bit. Okay, and voila, it's pretty straight. I mean, it's still got all the little bends in it, but it's straight enough to use. Now, if I get this here, see if I can push a little bit harder. There we go, and there we go. So I should do like a before and after on that. And so when you get these straight pins, I'll do a cup and just put the straight ones in. So that way, if I need to grab a piece and measure it real quick, I know all the crimps are taken out so that I know the measurement's gonna be right. If you're measuring a piece like this, and it's all wavy, when you go to put it on and, you know, add the wing or add the tail, add the arm, sometimes it'll start straightening out on you and elongating or bending in and flexing more. And when that happens, your measurements will get off. And when you're working with a small scale character, if your measurements go in, you know, just an eighth of an inch or a quarter of an inch one way or the other, it can really throw your whole model off a little bit.